All right. What the? All right. Let's see what we got here today. All right, we got, I think these are pre-market levels. Pre-market low. Yeah. Appreciate the follow. 23, 3, 13, 23, 13. So that's the pre-market low. Let me go ahead and switch to, I'm gonna go quickly. I think we're gonna push pre-market lows. I wanna switch to my other accounts real quick. Make sure everything is good on my side. All right. I kind of hope this thing dumps through pre-market lows, or takes out pre-market lows for it to continue going up. We got, all right, let's see what news we got today. All right. We have, oh man, 9:45 and 10 o'clock. 9:45 and 10 o'clock news today. So let's see this thing continue lower. Oh, don't go up. You're so close to pre-market. It's very close. This line right here is pre-market lows. I wanted to take out pre-market lows, and then let's see if we can get a move back on up. All right, we're about to take out pre-market lows. Let's see if we could do it. All right, pre-market lows taken out. Now, let's see if we can form some structure or something here. And then we got room to about 360, 359, let's say. Wow. All right. 5 seconds. See how this candle closes. We got a gap. Oh, what the? Oh, crap. I moved it. Say 312. I mean, if we could get a closure above, I'd be interested, potentially taking a long. We got room to the highs, kind of to that, we got room 97 level kind of deal. So those highs. Let's see if we could get strong. We got news at 9:45. It's NQ futures. Let's see if see what happens here. Can this thing start pushing? Alright, we're still dumping. See what happens here. Yeah, there's news at 9:45 and 10 o'clock. So you gotta be careful for the news. But I don't know, we'll see. If I can get a close, I mean, I'll have my stops in. If we can start forming structure and kind of, right, what time is it? It's 35, so we got 10 minutes till news. We still got time. If this can close above, I think I'm gonna take a stab at it. Not yet. I'm getting a lot of selling pressure still here. Yeah, we have. I don't. The 9:45 one isn't. Yeah, the PMI I don't think is going to be too impactful. It's a yellow folder. Both of them, I don't know. None of them are red folder, I don't think. But regardless, red folder or not, I still don't want to be in the trade. But we'll see if we could get this. Can this have enough momentum to start? Now that we formed structure here, right? Now let's see if we can break this, right? Kind of close above, maybe retest it to go higher. I don't know. We just got view up right there, so we gotta be careful. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Ten seconds left. Let's see how we close here. 5. All right. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna try this. My TP is going to be 97s. Or should I do just a 1-to-1? Let's see. 20, 80. So, all right. Let me just do a. Yeah, let me do a quick 1-to-1. I'll do a 1-to-1. I'm not gonna get greedy because news is coming out. So that's a 1-to-1 ratio right there. Let's see if we can start pushing. Start pushing. Let's go. Let's take out these. We're above view op. We're tapping the 200. Stop below the lows. Let's put the stop in. Stop below the lows. Let's keep it pushing to at least that 385. I just want to hit a quick 1-to-1. We got news in like 6 minutes. So I preferably would want to get out of this before news. Sell? Nah. We swept pre-market. We just swept pre-market lows. Inverse that gap. Let's see what happens here. We're retesting that view op. We're retesting this kind of support level. This needs to hold a support in order for this to continue going up. Right? So this old resistance turned into new support. Has to hold. Let's bounce here and let's start ripping back up. So far they're holding it. We're still above view op. Let's go. Let's rip it. Rip it. Hopefully they don't bounce it around at news. Let's go. Rip it. Up. It's a sweep. It already swept pre-market lows. That's why I'm kind of hoping this thing continues going up, but hey. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Rip it. Rip it. Up, up, up. Let's go. We got this. We got this. Break. See if we can break that 362 level. Come on. Break it. You know you want to. You know you want to. There's liquidity at London highs. Yeah, that's why I kind of have my... Technically, my TP should be a little bit higher, but I'm just taking a quick 1-to-1 for those highs. We swept out the lows. Now I just want a quick 1-to-1 for those highs. Not even at those highs, that gap. So I just wanted to tap into that gap that's there. All right, let's break it. We need strength to come in. We're still looking good. We're still above view op. It's holding view op. It's gotta hold view op. We gotta break 362. 362, come on. We gotta invest. How do I invest? I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you how to invest. Bruh, these spam callers need to freaking lay off and chill out. Nobody wants to buy your product. Tap the gap. Oh, there's a gap up there that needs to get I'm hoping it rips up to that gap. Come on. Hold view up. We're retesting this, right? Again, we swept the pre-market lows. We swept those pre-market lows, right? We inversed this gap. Now this is turning into support, right? First this was resistance. It couldn't get through it. Then it broke through it. Now it's holding as support, and we got view up there to continue pushing up. The only thing is we got news in freaking 3 minutes. We got news in 3 minutes, so you have to be very careful. Hurry up! News is coming out! Bro, get me out of this before news. Let's go! Rip it! How hard is it to rip it just a little bit higher? Bro, really? Oh my gosh. Let's go. What's the risk? Oh, my bad. You can't see it? My stop is at the lows. See my stop loss down here. It's a quick 1-to-1. There's a gap to the left. We got highs there. So let's see what happens. News can actually propel. Oh shoot, when's news? T-minus 1 minute till news. 1 minute. News can propel this thing to the highs, I think. Hopefully, I think news can really push this thing to the highs. I think personally news is gonna push it to the highs. It seems like it wants to go there. It's still holding view up. It's pretty strong. We're almost kind of like forming a bull flag. No red folder news. All right, yeah, it's not red folder, so it's not gonna get too crazy. But I think this news should propel this thing to the top. I think it's just, but right before news, price tends to kind of consolidate before news. And then when news comes out, then it starts to move. Let's see. 5 seconds till news. 5, 3, 2, 1. There's news. So not doing much yet. Hopefully news is already out, so let's keep pushing up. There it is. Come on! What is this? NQ futures. Let's go! Rip it! News is out. No, don't wait for anything else. No, nothing to wait for now. Nothing to wait for. Let's go. Keep it, rip it, rip it, rip it, ripping. This is my funded accounts. These are 10 funded accounts. So that's why like the risk is off. Because this is multiplied by 10, this P&L. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Woo. Woo. Oh, don't you stop here now. Let's go. Keep it. Keep it. Keep it going. All right, it's about to tap into that gap. I needed to tap that gap. What? I needed to tap into... It hasn't tapped into that gap. It's retesting. It's fine. Price pulls back to retest levels to continue going higher. There it is. Retested it. Now we can go higher. Retested now as support. Let's push it higher. Let's fill that gap. Price action analysis at its finest. Boom! TP! That's how you do it! That's how you do it, my friend. Patience! Patience! See? I was patient yesterday. Yesterday, we didn't get any setups yesterday. Couldn't find anything. Walked away yesterday without taking anything, without taking any trades, because I knew if I take a stupid trade, I'm going to come back tomorrow, I'm going to get a good trade, and all I'm going to be doing is making back my losses from yesterday. But I didn't take a trade yesterday, so now we're in profit. I don't have to worry about making back losses. Patience, patience, patience. My friends, patience. It's about to dump? Yeah, it could dump. It still hasn't taken out the highs though. Let me switch my accounts. Maybe I'll start if this sets up for a short. Hold on. I gotta make sure I switch my accounts though, because that's gonna be really bad for me because I size differently on these accounts. Let me do this copy trader. Take all these accounts off. All right. All right, man, I'm always paranoid that I'm gonna accidentally leave one of the accounts active for my, because I size differently because it's a funded. What is this? NQ futures. Let's see what happens. Hey, I'm not opposed to this thing could dump. I took my profits. Now let's see what structure does. I'm not gonna get greedy. I ain't gonna be greedy. Yo, what's up? That's a lot of PAs. Yeah, I got I've had them for a while. I've had my PAs for a while. That's why I kind of sized down on them. I need to protect them. What really screwed me up was during tariff news. I kind of went into some drawdown with tariffs. So I'm very like, with these PAs, I'm very careful about the trades I take. Like very specific setups. But yeah. So I have 10 PAs and I'm getting 4 more. I just switched to my evaluation accounts. I'm in about 2,000 profit on one and then 1,000 on 3 other ones. So I should, by the end of this month, I should have 4 more funded accounts. So I'll have 14 funded accounts, which I don't know. I think I'm good there. I don't need any more funded accounts. What stocks you on? I'm on NQ futures. You looking for a retracement? Well, I'm out of my longs. I'm done with longs. I'm out of my longs. No more longs. I caught the trade. Now I'm gonna wait for something else to happen. I'm 2K down. How are you down 2K? Why? What happened? I took profit. I'm out of my longs because I took profit. I made my money. I got out. I don't need to hold all day. I have 10 funded accounts. So how much did I make? For example, right? I didn't make too much, right? It wasn't a crazy. It was a 1-to-1. I'm very sized down on them because they're my funded. So. But I made like, what, 800 bucks? 800 bucks. It's not bad. Open, rip, hit my short limit, then pulled up, then dumped. Oh. Yeah, you got make sure to look at major levels. Like if it sweeps, like the reason I took this trade, right? We swept a major level, right? Look what happened. I had this level marked out before market even opened. Look on the 15 minute. This right here, see all this liquidity, see all these lows sitting down here? This is also pre-market lows. So I know a lot of times pre-market lows, if it gets swept and we start buying pressure comes in, we can get a decent move up. Look what happened. Pre-market lows got swept. Immediately as pre-market lows get swept, buyers start stepping in aggressively, right? We kind of consolidated here because of news. I knew that could happen, right? I knew exactly why I was bouncing around here. It was waiting for news to come out. News comes out and we rip up to the upside. So, and that's another thing is like, I understood news is out. I was in that trade when news was out. But with price action, I could see it wants to go higher. And this is what, that was my TP. I understand, like, right, even with news, a lot of times what news can do is propel price to a level, right? So I could see, based on when I was in this trade, I could see price action, right? How it was holding. I knew this needed to hold as support. I see it bouncing around, and you can see buyers kind of stepping in aggressively. You can see these wicks right there. So I was pretty confident that price wanted to continue going higher, is just waiting for news. Literally like a minute after news comes out, then it rips. So what I was saying is, if, for example, if you're in a short and you see price wants to go up, it's best to just get out of the trade and take an early small loss, right? Because you see these wicks, by these wicks, you know it kind of wants to go up. Every time it pulls back, buyers step in. It's holding as support. So once it starts breaking out, it starts to look really bad for shorts. But the goal is to really conserve your losses. Make sure your losses are as small as possible. That's something I'm trying to learn on. But yeah, that's why I kind of stayed in that trade. What time frame do you use the most? I mark my levels out. Mark my levels out on 15 minute, and then I drop down to a 1 minute. So that's why I kind of have this level marked out too, because this is a major level up here. What time for, oh, I already answered that. It's crazy, bro. I'm in the same trade. Targeting Asia highs and lows, right? Yeah, well, initially, I'm already out of the trade. The reason is, initially, like, technically you should be targeting the highs. I got out of that trade because I took a quick 1-to-1 ratio, right? And the reason I took a quick 1-to-1 ratio, it aligned perfectly with this gap right here, right? I saw this gap, and let me see. I saw this gap right here, and I knew price could start rejecting there, and news was coming out. So I just wanted a quick 1-to-1. If price wanted to quickly push up there, you know, tap into this gap. And I want to be out of the trade technically before news, but yeah, I end up holding 2 news. And I knew, right? I go based off probabilities. I would rather take a 1-to-1 knowing that there's a gap right here. If this gap wasn't here, right? If this gap wasn't here, my target would have been at Asia highs for sure. But since this gap was here, it was a 1-to-1. I knew it could reverse there, so I wanted to be safe and just take a profit at that gap. And you could see what's going on now. Price tapped into that gap, and now it's starting to go down. So a lot of people that trade the same strategy are going to have a break-even stop. I still think it could tap the highs, but I don't like this sideways. I prefer to be out of this. But that's why I took the profit that I took. And my exit was perfect. What a, like, look at this perfect exit. Where was my exit? It was like at, it was at like 389, I think, or 388. Somewhere around here. And price literally didn't even go like 10 points higher than my TP. And then is dropping now. So now we're at the point, if it starts breaking these lows, it's not looking good for bears. 362 level if we start breaking it. So I take my TPs based off probability. Where I'm entering, if I can get a quick 1-to-1 and I know there's a gap up there that it could tap into and then reject, I'm taking it at that gap. What do you think of Alluvium? I've never heard of them. What is that? Is that like a trading platform or a Alluvium? There's a fair value gap there's fair value gap magnet. It can still fill down low below swiping London highs. Yeah. Price is gonna retrace. I mean, as long as you know what price is doing, as long as you know what price is doing, you don't get scared of pullbacks, right? Like when price, like a newbie would have been scared if he would have got in, or she, and price started to rip and then started to pull back aggressively, right? Newbies start to get freaked out why price is pulling back. Oh, I gotta get out. But I understand price rips, right? Price is gonna pull back to kind of retest this high. There's a huge possibility it could retest, and we have a gap there. So I knew it could even retest this gap, which it tapped into it, but, right? And then we kept pushing up. And now price is retesting, right? Then we formed another gap right there and a support level, an old resistance that became a support. So now it ripped up, now it's pulling back, retested that gap, right? Failed to make a new high. Now it's coming down lower. So it could potentially take out this low, move higher, or continue, continue going lower. My bad. I didn't even see it. It's not even in the screen. But you can see why price is doing what it's doing, and it gives you confidence to stay in the trade when you know, oh, price can pull back and retest this level or fill this gap before continue moving up. It's literally a wave. What prop firms do you use? I use Apex Trader Funding. How do you place your stop loss? So the reason I look for these major levels of liquidity, right? Like this trade I took, right? First of all, we know why I took that trade, right? These are pre-market lows. Again, you see this huge level here, pre-market lows, look, all these lows sitting down here. So I marked out that pre-market low. Oh, sorry. Went to the 1 minute chart and was waiting for price to come down there. What the heck? What the heck's going on? Oh, that's news. News is out. I'm wondering what the heck price is doing. So we dropped. We swept these pre-market lows. And we had this gap. And I was saying, right? If we can close above this gap, I'm willing to take a long. Yeah, that's news. So my stop is below the lows. My stop was at these lows right here. Because now these are considered protected lows. It already took out this major level. So in my eyes, it already took out this major level. It shouldn't have to come down there without taking out another liquidity point, right? So now my stop is below the lows. It's kind of like a protected stop. And we ended up ripping to the next target. But yeah, this is why holding during news is kind of scary. This was a bigger news event, right? Let me go to economic calendar. This was the 10 o'clock news. Yeah, so this was the first one was a yellow folder. That 9:45 wasn't a big impact news. This was a little bit more impactful. This was orange folder, so that's why you saw that price action. That's why staying in a trade can be risky during news. Imagine if you get wicked out of this trade. I mean, most people's stops are at the lows, so people really didn't get wicked out, but bro, that just stopped me out so good. Did it stop you out perfectly? I've had that happen to me. My stop was at a level. It stops me out to the T and then rips up. But that's why you want to have your stop at an area that makes sense. You don't want to have your stop just because of your P&L, right? Oh, I want to only risk, say, $300 a trade. So I'm going to size heavy and then have my stop really close. You want to size in accordance with where your stop is. For example, if you only want to risk $300 per trade, go to micros and then size accordingly so your stop makes sense at $300 risk. So you would size accordingly so your $300 risk would be a stop below the lows, like all these lows. So you don't get stopped out prematurely just because of price action. You want to get stopped, put your stops where it makes sense in the market. So that's why you always want to, yeah, put your stop where it makes sense, put your TP where it makes sense, and trade, put your levels based on market, not based on P&L. P&L is how you size. You size according to how much you're willing to risk, and then put your stops, right? Adjust your stops based on how much you want to risk, and based on the levels where it makes sense to take TP and then to take a stop out. It's still holding this pretty good, so. How do you calculate that fast? It's very easy. So the way you calculate your stops, see these boxes on my chart? These boxes are set up, they're set up perfectly, right? 10 points a box. So every box is 10 points. And I know 10 points is $20 on one micro, right? I always use micros for me to size accordingly to my, so, right? For example, this trade I took right here. Say you would have entered right there. So you would quickly, before the trade, is it buffering for me or is it buffering for everyone? Sorry. Bro, what's going on? Alright, we good? Are we good? Sorry, I don't know if my thing froze or it was loading. Oh, it was just me, I guess. So you calculate it. It's really simple, right? Set your 10 points, right? Every 10 points, you know, is $20 for one micro. So you can quickly say you had right here 20. You would count the box. If I was entering right here, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Right? So these lows would be 100. 100 point stop. So then you just multiply by how many contracts you want, right? One micro would be $100 risk. 2 micros would be 200, and you just keep adjusting your stop, and you can quickly count the boxes and multiply them based on your risk. So if I wanted to quickly risk $300 per trade, I would use 3 micros instead of 1 micro for 300, and you can quickly calculate it that way. That's how I do it. How did you make that this smart? It's you just for Ninja Trader, you can set the points value, like the horizontal grids on your chart. You can set them at different levels. So you can put horizontal lines 10 points, and then it puts those lines spaced out every 10 points, and it makes it very simple to calculate risk that way. Where'd you get the Porsche poster in the back? I forgot. It was a company. I found them online. They do a lot of, I forgot what they're called. But they're popular. I mean, if you search up Porsche poster, you probably find that poster. No, I didn't forget about news. I didn't forget about PMI. I saw the setup and I knew it wasn't a big news event. If it was a red folder, it would have been a different deal. I probably would have stayed out of the trade if it was red folder, but it was a yellow folder news. It was not a big news event. So it's red folder? No, it's not. It's not red folder. Let me check Forex. On my economic calendar, it didn't show red folder. It showed, let's see, today. They do have it as red folder on, that's weird. That's weird. ISM service PMI. If I go to, I use FinViz. If you go to FinViz economic calendar, right? FinViz economic calendar. If you look on FinViz, Tuesday, 10 o'clock shows PMI ISM service as orange folder news. It doesn't show it as red folder. I don't know why Forex Factory had it as red folder. It didn't really, it didn't even move like red folder news. So I think FinViz is more accurate on the impact than Forex Factory. Because you can even see based on, so for accordance with FinViz, right? ISM services were orange folder news, and then, oh sorry, yellow folder. Oh wait. I know what's going on. Wait. I know what's going on. There it is. No, they're the news event I was looking at is the 945 one. The 945 one was that was the one that I was in the trade. That's a yellow folder news event. 940. If you look on even Forex Factory, 945 PMI is yellow folder, so it doesn't have much impact. That's why I was. And then yeah, 10 o'clock. But I don't know why it does that. On Forex Factory, 10 a.m. news, the PMI, ISM PMI news, ISM PMI at 10 o'clock is red folder. On FinViz economic calendar, it's an orange folder instead of a red folder. Which I think Forex Factory is right on that, because it was pretty wiki. That news had pretty big impact. But yeah, I need to start looking at Forex Factory. I feel like Forex Factory is a little more accurate than FinViz. I don't know, I just always was using FinViz for the longest time, and I got used to it, so I always used it. And it's not as cluttered as Forex Factory. Like, it shows a bunch of, I need to filter out all the nonsense of the euro and all that. But yeah, that's why 945 it was yellow folder. It wasn't, the 10 o'clock was the red folder news. And I was in the trade on the not on 945, not 10. But hey, a lot of times news will propel. Like, you gotta obviously be careful in the news. And I called it perfectly. I knew I saw based on before the news was coming out, I saw where price wanted to go. I knew it was consolidating because of the news. And I could see, based on these wicks, I'm like, okay, it wants to go up. I could tell it wants to go for those highs. Based on these wicks. I was like, all right, it's waiting for news to come out, then price is going to go after news comes out. Where was it? 9:45 news comes out right there. A minute after news comes out, boom, rips to the upside. Simple. Oh gosh, now we're kind of, listen, now we're kind of in this range right now. There's nothing really to trade in this range. We didn't even take out, my next level was those highs to see what price is going to do at these highs. Never even tapped the highs. Perfect TP. Gosh, dude, not lying to you, the past 2 trades I took were literal perfect TPs. After target hit my TP, it dropped all the way back down. Gosh. I'm glad I didn't have my stop, my TP at the highs. That's why I have my stop, have my TP where it made sense, right? Highest probability. Where, and this is how I think of it, right? Where, based on where I'm entering, right? Where is the highest probability that price is going to move to next? And you could tell why price moved there, right? Why did price stop right there and not go for the highs? Why did price reject right there? If you look to the left, and exactly where price rejected, exactly where I had my TP, because I looked to the left and I saw there's a gap that wasn't filled yet. This gap right here. Initially, my TP was at the highs until I saw that gap, and I was like, oh crap, there's a gap right there that can get filled and it could drop, and that gap was a 1-to-1 risk to reward. I was like, makes sense. I'm targeting the gap just in case it fills that gap and drops. So my target was in the middle of that gap, tapped it, and then dumped all the way back down. What time frame are you on? I'm on the... This is the 1-minute chart, but I mark my levels on the 15-minute chart. So... Oh, man. But yeah. Always go... Don't trade your P&L. That's the biggest thing I could say. Is don't trade your P&L. Trade market structure, market, price action. And learn to potentially even I think an important part is learning to get out of trades when they don't make sense anymore. When you're in a trade and price is showing you that it wants to go lower and you're in a long, to get out possibly early. You can always get back in. That's what I'm trying to learn right now. For me, that's the biggest thing what I'm trying to learn. Waiting for an entry. No, I've already took profit. I made. Do you only take 1-to-1s? No, not necessarily. I take what makes sense in the market, right? Like I said earlier, with this last trade I took, right? If this gap wasn't here, then I would see that there's no reason price should stop there, and I would have had my target higher. But because this gap was here, I had a 1-to-1. If this gap wasn't there, my target would have been higher. But typically, yeah, I would say 90% of the time, my trades are a 1-to-1, and I do get trades that have negative risk to reward. There are trades that have a little. They're not crazy negative. They're like a little bit negative, because I go based off structure. I don't go based off, oh, in order for me to have X amount of, a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2, I need to take profits here. No, I take profits where it makes sense to take profit. I scalp the market, right? I don't hold long term. So I need to take profit where it makes sense, not based off of my P&L or... Now, if the risk to reward makes no sense where price could go, I just don't take the trade if it doesn't make sense anymore. But yeah, I was gonna say something. Crap. We still haven't taken out. We're still holding. Still holding that level. We've taken out pre-market and we haven't dropped below it. It's not gonna look good if we take out the lows, which I think it could. And oh, this is what I was gonna say. This is what I was gonna talk about. Right? Hypothetically, let's say someone took a long, right? Which I know for sure. Took a long, let's say off of here. I took a long but took profit. Let's say someone took a long off of here, right? Maybe for the highs. For these highs right here. Yeah, move it. Hold on. Let's say someone took a long off this for the highs up there. Or you're already in a long, right? And if you're holding for a long, you have to pay attention to structure and what structure is doing. And it should tell you what price, right? The fact that we kind of pushed up, we bounced, we failed to make a new high, right? And we're kind of getting close to that news event. The smart thing to do would be to get out of the trade early, because you can always get back in. And you could see, based off of structure, it's having trouble continually going up. And we ended up just dropping. Now, at this point, we're probably going to go for those lows. But right? Having your stop at the lows makes sense. You see how much trouble it's having breaking, going back down and taking out those lows? It's having a lot of trouble there because, right? It's a level that's going to be pretty difficult to get through. This level right here. But got a lot of selling pressure, so we're probably going to break it. And learning to recognize when it doesn't make sense anymore and getting out. That's really what I'm trying to learn how to, you know, like for me in the trade, if I was still long, for me it wouldn't make sense. If we start closing below the gap, right? I entered because it inversed this gap. If we start closing back below this gap, right? I need to start thinking about getting out of the trade, right? So like, boom, it closed below the gap. Now it's looking really ugly for longs. The fact that we closed back below the gap is looking really bad for longs. Even you save, look how much money you're saving. I mean, even it closes back below. If you take an early stop out, look how much, because you know it's most likely going to take those lows out again if it closed back below. So you're still saving what, 20, 40 points? 40 points is a lot of money you're saving by taking an early stop out, by not letting it hit your full stop out. Right now is to go short. Yeah, well, there are people who go on short. If you're like a breakout trader, yeah. I'm not a breakout trader. I don't trade breakouts or breakdowns. Some people I know like to do that. It never made sense for me. I don't like, it works for some people, but I don't want to go short at the bottom, right? I don't want to go short at the very bottom of the because then where's your stop? I mean, you would be taking a short at a support level. So I don't know, it makes no sense for me personally. If it works for you, it works for you, but for me it doesn't make sense to go short at a support level where I know it could rip back up. It could take out this low and it could start ripping back up. Oh my god! See? We're taking out that level, and what are we doing now? We're ripping back up. You don't want to take a short at a support level. If you want to take a short, right? A short would be somewhere up here. A short would be maybe if it's your strategy, right? We kind of break down, we push back up to test this area as resistance to go back down. Right? I know it's in hindsight, but like, you know why price rejected right there. Right? You know kind of why price pushed up here, rejected there, because it's going to have trouble getting, it has to get through this level. This is now support, resist. So this was old support, remember, old support after it breaks turns into new resistance, right? So this was support broke because of news. Now that old support is holding as new resistance, right? Now you have this level, this is support, right? Old support broke, price pushed back up, now it's holding it as resistance to go back down. I know it's easier said than done, but as long as you could see, you know, price is doing something and you understand why price is doing what it's doing, right? Then you're able to actually take better trades. And let's see. The next level on, let's see the 15-minute chart. What levels do we have down there? So, to me, the next level... see if I can move it. So we got, right, this level was good. To me, the next levels, right, and this is how I mark out my levels right there, right? That's the next level for me, right? Because price, it tapped this level and then it had a massive rip up. So to me, this is the next level. That's a major level on the 15-minute time frame. After that level, this is a very interesting level. And who knows, maybe I'll take a trade off these levels. To me, this is the next major level right here. Right? We had a pullback, we tapped here, and then we had a big rip up again. So we have a big level here. We have a big level here. Ideally, I would love this level. Because right? Why? We tap out that level. Not only do we fill a gap here, we also have a pivot point right there. So this is going to be a pretty decent level of support down here. So we'll see. If I get a setup and this level, we're coming up on the 200 day, on the 200 EMA on the 15 minutes right there. Where is it on the 1 minute? So see, it's above on the 1 minute. But if you look on the 15 minute, right, that EMA is right there. It's tapping that 200 EMA on the 15 minute chart. Sorry, right. It's tapping it right there on the 15 minute chart. 23,194.50. 23. I would do the why 9,450? It's at that 187 level. All right, let's see what's gonna happen. So I marked out my levels right on the 15 minute. Now I know those are major levels. I drop down to the 1 minute chart, and now I can watch price and see what it's gonna do when it gets down to those levels. How is price gonna react to those levels? Are we gonna get buying pressure like we did here, like this level right here? What we did, we swept it, and buyers started stepping in aggressively. Is that what's gonna happen here, or is it continue dumping? If it continues dumping, that's fine. You wait for price to give you, to show you it wants to go back up. Oh! Man. Oh, you're using fibs? Oh, that's why? 0.618. Is that the fib level? If the fib level is there, that's another confluence. But that where is it? But that level, this 186 level, is the lows of the liquidity, the bottoms of those candles that need to get swept. So if your fib is there, that's good. That's another extra sign of yeah, that level looks the best. For me, this is the biggest level, biggest probability. But yeah. Here, give me a second. Let me I'll be back in like a second. All right, we're back. We're back, baby. All right, so now look at this, right? Now, if you look on the 15-minute chart, watch. Now that we've broken down heavily below that, what's gonna happen now? Now, hypothetically, this has to hold as resistance. This is gonna be a major resistance now, right? It was a major support. It broke down. Now, if it comes back up, if price say takes out this level right here or this level, if it comes back up, this is going to hold as major resistance in some form of way. Usually, right? Nothing's 100% of the time, but most likely it's gonna hold as a major resistance. So if you do take a long, right, somewhere down here, you decide to take a long, understand that when we go back up, this is going to be a major resistance. So be careful at that level. calling it now. So let's see. But yeah, I really like that level. This bottom one. I will take the trade. If price gets down there, I will take a trade. I really like it. There's a pivot point. There's so much confluences. There's a pivot point. There's a gap that needs to get filled. It looks really good. What time is it? $10:27. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna take a short. If it's your strategy, hey, if your strategy shows a short setup, right? Take it. But if you take a short just to take a short, and if it's not your strategy, even if you make money, it's still a bad trade because you're not learning anything, right? You want to be able to, even if you take a loss, you want to be able to learn something, right? Like for me, I wouldn't want to take, if hypothetically, it's not my strategy, but if I was looking for a short, I would wait for price to come back up, right? I would wait for price to possibly push back up into this big level because I know that this is going to hold as a pretty decent resistance. I would want to take a short somewhere up here if I was wanting to take a short, not down here. I would wait for price to come back up and retest that level. But that's just me. That's where patience comes in. You want to be patient for price to come to you, right? You don't want to just jump in to jump in. You want to wait for price to come to your level and then show that it, makes sense to take a trade off that level. So, price is starting to push back up. Let's see what happens. I mean, there's a big possibility price could push up back to that level. Yesterday I got too greedy, almost made $600. Yeah, you want to set your TPs at levels that make sense. I chart on the 15-minute. I mark out these blue lines. These blue lines are levels on the 15-minute time frame, and then I drop down to the 1-minute time frame to get my entries on the 1 minute. For price to show me that it wants to move off the 1 minute, for price action to confirm. Look at that. Look at that. Called it. Called it. But ended up making 400. Hey, 400 is still good. But the goal, right, in any trade that we take, any trade that you take, the goal is to have a plan, right? Because when you have a plan, you could still, if you have a plan and you take it according to that plan, even if you get stopped out, in my eyes, now I know this is kind of sound kind of, but in my eyes, it's still a double. It's still a win, right? It's still a W. Because if I can learn something from that trade and I can look back at that loss and go, all right, what I should have done is, X and Y, or what I should have done is this. If I would have done this, or if I would have done this, if I would have waited for this, or if I would have got out here, I would have saved this much money and I would have took an early stop out and I wouldn't have lost, 200. I would have lost only 100. That's what I should have got out. This is the level where I should have got out. And if you learn something for next time, that's still a winning. In my eyes, that's still a W if you learn something from that trade. If you took that trade perfectly and you did everything according to your plan, there's nothing, you just took a loss, that's fine too. But I think that happens with like experience, at least for me. For me, it happened when I was learning how to trade, dude. Oh my gosh, I would be so like wanting to get into a trade so badly. I would take random trades, and when I made money, I was so freaking happy. I thought I was the freaking king. I thought I was the boss when I made money, and I didn't even take a setup according to a plan. I just kind of took a trade just to take a trade. And I got burned so many times, lost so much money that now I have a plan. I stick to that plan. And I think that just comes from getting, slapped in the face so many times by the market by taking dumb trades that you eventually just are patient. You get slapped by the market so many times, you become patient for the good trades instead of taking just random trades. I know it looks good for for social media, right, it looks good, especially on the live. It obviously would look a lot better in my live if I'm constantly in a trade. I know I would have so much more viewers if I was always in a trade. I'm always taking a trade here, taking a trade here, taking a trade here. I know I'd get more viewers, right? But I'm not here. I'm here to trade, right? I'm here to take good trades. I'm not here to just take random trades and hope it goes in my direction. I'm here to actually learn. I'm here to actually learn myself every single day by watching the market and taking good quality setups and waiting. All right, we're still breaking down. So, I think we're gonna, I think we still got room to take out that level. It's 10:30. I'm in the learning stage right now. Yeah, I think the learning stage is critical to watch the market, watch what the market's doing, and have your strategy. Have a strategy that you like, that makes sense for you, and stick to that strategy. But don't, like, have a strategy that works, but don't always, like, well, in the beginning, okay, in the beginning, you're going to be kind of strategy hopping, right? In the beginning, I was strategy hopping. I was trying to figure out what I want to do, what works for me. And I finally found something I like, and I just stick to that. So, and it doesn't have to be complex, right? Get out of here, freaking ant. It doesn't have to be complex. You can have a simple strategy if it makes sense. Sometimes the simpler ones work way better than some people who have the freaking crazy strategies, you know, all these different ICT strategies. I don't know, man. I just look at price action. I never studied ICT. I just look at the charts and I see what makes sense. I mean, I've seen other ICT traders, not to say I didn't take something from them. I saw their strategy and, you know, I took something from that and kind of. Some people trade what they see. Yeah, you gotta watch the market and see. Look how you see the market. Who knows? Maybe you'll see something that nobody else sees. Who knows? It's a possibility. But watching the market and seeing and understanding why it does what it does. I'm on the demo mode. YouTube and TikTok all morning is becoming an overload of all info at once. Yeah, I mean, you just have to. Here's the thing. Understand two things. Understand that the market moves to take out highs and lows, right? Or they call liquidity. And then likes to fill imbalances. And then you have like support and resistance where, right, old support becomes new resistance. And once you understand that, you can kind of formulate a strategy based off of that. But it's tough. Hey, trading is not easy. It looks easy because in hindsight, right? In hindsight, you can always see, oh, if I would have took a short right there, I would have made all this money, right? But you gotta, the hard part about trading is being able to see something happen before it even happens, right? Being able to see price, right? Like me taking profits there at the exact top of the move, right? Being able to see that that's a possibility before it even happens, and then you see it happen. That's why trading is so hard, because you got to see something, right? You're in essence predicting something is gonna happen. What are you doing? But yeah, trading's hard, but once you're a master, it's straight chicken from there. Yeah, it gets. I mean, trading is always a learning thing, right? Because here's the thing, the markets are always changing, right? That's also the hard part about trading. You have to be able to adjust. Like, you gotta sometimes possibly not even trade. Like me looking back at the whole Trump tariff news thing, I know I should have probably stayed out of the market. I should have probably not traded during that time. It was a crazy time to trade. And, you know, during the summer months, the market moves differently in the summertime than it does in the fall time, than it does in... The market moves differently. So you got to be able to adjust to how the market's moving. I mean, the market kind of moves, you know, the market moves in a certain way, but the way it moves adjusts. But yeah, becoming obsessed with trading and understanding like trading because you like it, not because, oh, I want to make a crazy amount of money, but trading because you like it and learning about it because you like it. I mean, obviously that's like, let's face it, people like trading because of the possibility, right? The possibility of you being able to make a crazy amount of money. If you really master this, you're able to make a lot of money. But the mastering part is hard. People think that you could just come into trading and within a year you could become you know, profitable and make a crazy amount of money. It doesn't work that way. Like, the learning stages of trading is you start to lose money, you go from losing money to being break even to making money, right? That's kind of the 3 stages of trading. Everyone goes through those stages. Everyone loses money. So it's, when you're learning, especially when you're learning, you want to minimize the amount of money you're losing. Because you're learning, you're going to lose money. So here is a level, right? I had this level marked out. Let me move it up a little bit. So far, price is not looking like it wants to, like buyers are stepping in at this level. Looks like sellers are pushing more aggressively than buyers. Now, it's not to say it could change, but as of now, that level is not holding at all. So I'm not longing just because that level hit. I need price to show me, right, a form of structure that it wants to continue going up. We don't even have any gaps, right? There's not even any gaps here to go off of. So I don't even have an entry. If this even starts pushing up, I don't even have one of my entries as a gap. There's a gap up here, but obviously I'm not gonna long all the way at the top. Facts, if you don't like it, you're not gonna have interest to do it. Yeah, and that's not just with trading, right? That's with anything in life. If you like what you do, why do you think there's like people are successful in businesses? Why do you think people are successful in the car business? Why do you think you have people like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk? They love what they do. They're obsessed with what they do. And that's why they can do it. That's why you have somebody like Elon Musk who's freaking worth $400 billion and still works 18 hours a day. It's because he loves what he does. It becomes a lot easier if you actually love what you're doing. Nancy Pelosi isn't watching candlesticks all day making bank. Yeah, well, that's... Nancy Pelosi is freaking... She's cheating. Nancy Pelosi was the freaking cheater. She's the one who's always cheating off other people's papers. She has insider information that she shouldn't be able to trade. The fact that you can have insider information like that and be able to trade a stock that you know big news is coming for that stock is wild to me. You know, people actually, that's a strategy. You know, that's a strategy. People watch what Nancy Pelosi takes and they just copy whatever she does. But the problem with that is she doesn't have to report it until like there's a certain window. Like if she takes a trade that's like a big size trade, right? She doesn't have to report it right away. She has like a time frame of when she has to report that trade. But this is NQ futures. And what was I gonna say? Oh, they're actually trying to pass a bill. They were trying to pass a bill that prevents members of Senate and like Congress to prevent them from that they shouldn't be able to take trades, like stock trades, in like companies that they have, which makes sense. Like you can't. It makes no sense how somebody like Nancy Pelosi, right? She makes $180,000 a year, and she's worth $400 million. Make that make any sense to you? Like, she's better than any hedge fund. She's the ultimate like stock trader of all time. Not because she's freaking smart, but because she's cheating. If any normal person did what she is doing, They would be in prison for that. She needs to retire. She needs to, like, listen, she's getting up there in age. She already has the money that she stole. All right, see this level? Right? Didn't hold. I'm staying out of it. No reason for me to take a trade. Buyers did not step in at this major level, so I didn't even walk into a trade, right? So now we're looking for this level. Maybe buyers will step in at this level. I really love this level, actually. If we could get good price action at this level, I'll probably take a long. I just got to make sure I switch my accounts, because I'm going to mess myself up if... Right, 39. All right. Open Stock was doing that a few weeks ago, posting hints on Reddit that the market reacted. Yeah, I mean, Reddit's a little interesting. There's a lot of people on Reddit that always... If 90% of people lose money in this market, you typically don't want to listen to them. Or do the opposite of what they do. Listen, if 90% of people lose money, can you just do the opposite of what they do and make money? Alright. Alright. Hey, let's see. I kind of like this. Me likey. We got a gap. Now, the candle hasn't closed yet, so I'm not going to write it in, but we still have time for this candle. See how this candle closes. I may take a quick scalp. This is a good area. Hey, I like this. This is not financial advice. Do not copy me, or you will lose money. All right. We got 20 seconds left. Ah, we got a gap up there too. And that's a major level. Crap. Bruh. I don't know if this is a good trade. I'll take a small size just for the heck of it. If it does work out. We got a gap up here too. I don't like that. And we got a resistance up here. So... But, hey. So buyers are not stepping in. Buyers are not showing me that they want to step in. So far, sellers got it. Sellers are in control. Now, if this moves far enough to where it doesn't make sense any... I hate taking trades off of these tiny gaps. I don't like that. Maybe. Maybe I'll take it for the heck of it. Just for the fun of it. For the fun skis. If this ends up working. So far, we're rejecting. We broke down that major level. We tapped back into it. We're rejecting off that major level, which is not a good sign to go long. Now, I don't like taking trades off of these tiny gaps, but I'm trying to adjust my risk to reward so that I can get a better... if we tap into this resistance, I can have my TP here versus if I enter off this gap, my TP would have to be trying to enter where it makes sense. And if we close above, we're going to be closing above the major level, which is also another good sign. But we can't even close above that major level. Now the cool thing is, right, if price kind of starts breaking above, right, and starts closing up here, now it can kind of act, this can act as support, right? This big wick. Gosh, dude, sellers are freaking taking over. What? All right. All right. I'm backing off. I'm backing off. Now the trade is invalidated. Congratulations. Bro. Nope. That's the cool thing I like about my strategy is I never enter into a position, right? So I never have to go through a loss in this kind of scenario. Buyers never stepped in. So this level is invalidated, right? We never got a reaction like we did off this level, right? Initially, this level I had marked out. Look at the reaction off that level versus these levels, right? Never got a reaction. We broke down, retested it, went back lower. We broke down, we retested it, we went down lower. Never got the reaction, so. You hit TP from that short up 450. Yeah, my TP was right. I entered long. We swept this level. We inversed this gap. Right? We had structure form here. I took a long right at the close of this candle. My TP was right here. Inside this gap. Inside this gap right here. So it literally hit my TP and then freaking tanked all the way down. So if you used my TP as a short, that would have been perfect. Oh, you did? In NinjaTrader, there's money flow oscillator graph. Do you ever use that? I know, oh, in NinjaTrader, no. No, I don't use it. I try not to have too much. I try to only focus on levels and price action. I don't like to have too much indicators. I have indicators, but they're used as just like, if I'm in a trade, appreciate the follow. If I'm in a trade, right, these indicators are kind of used as gauges because I know they're pretty, like these pivot points, view op, the 200, right? I understand we can have some form of selling pressure at these. But yeah, I like to mainly focus just on price action. But yeah, that's crazy. You used it as a short. That's pretty crazy. Look at this short. Holy. All right, let me go back on the 15 minutes, see what's going on. All right, we're tapping into this gap right here. We got that big gap right there. We're tapping into that gap. Dude, price is just tanking. And the next level is like... The next level is all the way down here. This kind of level right here, I would think of it as the next level. Would be an area of interest. And there's still a long ways to go to that level. So I marked out the next level. Let's move on to the 1 minute chart, right? Maybe we can get a reaction off this level down here. But, right? I want price to come to me. I don't want to chase price. I know in, is it FinViz? Let me check. In FinViz, I remember this. You had a, speaking of like money flow oscillator. There is a filter. There's a filter on Finviz where you can see what the major positions of people in like trading and stocks are buying, like CEOs of companies, what stocks they're buying and stuff like that. It's pretty cool for like a long-term hold type of thing, and see what other CEOs are doing. I mean, obviously they probably know more than the average person, but yeah, I try to stick to just price action. I'm a scalper. I'm not a long-term hold, so. Da 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 da. All right. It's kind of retesting this gap. I mean, to me, this trade now is This is invalidated. So, do we even get a 15-minute close? Let's see, 15-minute. All right, 9:52. Not really. I mean. 15-minute opened exactly on that. To me, the risk to reward doesn't make sense anymore. On the 15-minute chart, it still makes sense, but, right, to me, the risk to reward doesn't make sense. If I go long, right, above this level, I don't know. It just doesn't. My stop would have to be all the way down here. TP would have to be right below this level, because this is going to act as major resistance. So, let's see. Let's see the risk. It would be... hypothetically, let's say 20, 40, 60, 80. Let's say 80 points. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. Right? So $80 TP and $140 140 point risk with an 80 point TP doesn't make sense. So the risk to reward doesn't make sense, so obviously that trade doesn't make sense anymore. But I think it still go lower. It could retest this level, this major level, and continue going lower. Heck yeah. See that? Retesting the major level and then dropping right back down. And as we go closer to that 11 o'clock mark, that hourly candle is going to open at 11. So we could get some price action off that 11 a.m. candle. But, right, as price gets closer to 11 o'clock, it's going to kind of start to get a little bit slower. I'm eating off. You're still in shorts? Holy. So you must have the strategy of like taking partials. So you probably do take partials, unless you're just a degenerate and holding your full position. That's crazy. If you're holding full position from the time I was gonna go for it. Oh, up there? I mean, hey, if, like I said, if it's your strategy, hey, that's a good trade. Now, if you just randomly took a trade and you didn't know why, you called it. Yeah, you did call it. That is true. You called it up here somewhere. Oh, it was right here. It was right here. I remember because I said if I was going short, I would wait for price to come back up here. If hypothetically I wanted to go short. And I remember after I said it, it started pushing up. It didn't really push up to that level, but it started pushing up and then dropped. But here's the thing. Where is your TP? Like, where does your TP have to be? If you're shorting, for example, right? If you're shorting at like, where was it? Let's say the 271 level. If you're shorting at 271, where is your TP? I mean, your stop loss. Is it above these highs? In my eyes, that's kind of where it had to be. If I was short at 271, my stop would have to be at 299 for it to make sense. But I understand that it could still come back up here. Above the highs? Above the, like, your stop is above these highs up here? If your stop is above those highs, Oh. I was like, then you're... I mean, you're at like a 1-to-1 then. Ratio. Oh, your stop is above these highs then, right? That makes sense. Oh, okay. Yeah, if your stop is above those highs, it makes sense. Right? But in my eyes, the safer trade would have been... I mean, you never would have got the trade. That's the thing. Like, if price would have came up and kind of like took out those highs and then started reversing, that would have been like a I think, higher probability setup. But, hey, if you got a good risk, especially if you're still in that trade, that's crazy. If your stop was above these highs and now you're all the way down here, and you took like a, what, 1 to 6 risk to reward, that's really good. But trail your stop, right? When you start to trail, right, make sure you trail your stop in an area where it makes sense. Like when price starts kind of shooting back up, I mean, once price kind of breaks above those highs, I mean, I don't know. If I was trailing a stop, I would have a trail somewhere if it closes above one of these gaps. If it starts maybe inversing these gaps, maybe get out. Hey, take your... wherever it makes sense for you, but make sure you don't give away all your profits. And that's the thing with prop firms you have to be careful with. Like if you trade with a prop firm, say you have an amazing trade that's just like you're in profit so much and you don't take profit, you have a trailing drawdown, a live trailing drawdown. So your drawdown trails. So if price, for example, if you're in with decent size, price goes in your favor and you're up a lot of money, and then you don't take profit and price ends up going all the way back to your break even, you could still, right? Because it's a trailing drawdown, that drawdown trails even though you didn't take profit. And so when it goes back up, back to your break even, right? It stops trailing and then it starts going against you, meaning you're still in profit, but you could be break even, but because your price trailed, you could end up losing your account if you're with prop firms. So with prop firms, you have to be careful on that level. Now, some prop firms have an end of day trailing drawdown. Some prop firms have a live trailing drawdown. You got to be careful with that. Right? Just look. Let's see if this does the dreaded H or turns into a W. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Like, but let's say hypothetically, to better understand, right? If you took a short right here, let's say you went in with pretty heavy size, and say you're up like $3,000, right? You're up $3,000. If this goes back to break even, you only had a $2,400 risk, and because the drawdown was trailing you, that will stop you out and you'll blow your account even though you're in profit still. But yeah, like I said, there are... Oh, you're on Top Step? Does Top Step have an end of day drawdown, or do they have a trailing drawdown? Yo, what's up? How you doing? For me, it doesn't really matter because, like, I know Apex has a live trailing drawdown. For me, it doesn't matter because I scalp. So, but for someone who takes like long, like, you know, big profits, that could really hurt you. What is top? I'm kind of curious what Top Step. Top Step. Let's see. Top Step. Yeah, no, I know what Top Step is. I know they're a prop firm. I'm trying to see what drawdown rule they have. So Top Step's drawdown rule involves daily loss limit, maximum loss limit, and trailing drawdown. Well, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Do you know? Do they have an end of day, or do they have a trailing drawdown? Oh, snap. Price. Ah, this is kind of looking good, but I'm not gonna enter this. We're starting to close above this major level. Oh, 11 o'clock. I said we're gonna have some reaction probably at 11. It's that 11 a.m. candle. See what's going on the 15-minute. Man. Crap, this kind of looks good. Ugh. Oh my gosh. But see, this looks good, but the risk to reward doesn't make sense for me. It really does not make sense. Because what am I gonna... My TP is gonna be right here. And my stop is all the way down... 20, 30, 80... There's a lot. My stop loss is so big. Pause. Has the market seemed different to you? I mean, yeah, it's... We've been getting crazy, you know, these sell-offs in the morning. It's been a pretty interesting market. It's just been like... How many times has it done this already? Like, just sold off heavily. See, my entry would have been right here. I don't know. I kind of like the trade, but should I take it? I'm starting to get FOMO. This is on my evaluation accounts, though. The risk to reward doesn't make sense, though. All right, I'll try. I'll try it and see. I'll do a quick. These are my evaluation accounts. We'll see what happens. If this starts closing back below, I'm gonna get out. Ugh. It's not gonna be too big of a... These are my other accounts. These aren't the accounts I took a last trade on. This is a lower probability kind of setup. The problem is we got all these gaps to get through. That's the problem. Look at all these gaps up here, so it's gonna have a lot of trouble. I know it's not gonna, most likely it's not gonna just go straight to my TP, right? But let's go. It's gonna have trouble. That 15-minute chart looks pretty good for honestly. Look at that. That 15-minute chart, look at the price action on that. There's a pretty big gap. This is a lower probability setup. Because of the gaps that we have above, it automatically makes it a lower probability. You can see it's having a lot of trouble getting there. You're in longs as well. Yeah, be careful with your size. I think it looks good, but it's got these gaps to get through. It's gonna be tough. We're about to get through one of the gaps. If it could start closing, we got about 30 seconds-ish left. We got this gap to get through, this gap to get through to get to that high. My idea is if we can go for that high at least, I'll be happy. Let's see. We got another major level here, so that's the other thing is it could tap into that major level and then reject off it. So 10% of my bag. Yeah, I'm in if this starts kind of going against me, I'm gonna cut it. Just because I don't really like the gaps there. As you can see, price action, there's having a lot of the selling pressure stepping in is pretty big. It's got to hold this as support, right? So now this is turning into support. It's got to hold as support in order to continue going up. If this can't hold as support, well, it's not going to look pretty good for bulls. We got to start pushing. Let's go! Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it. It's working! Push it. This is NQ futures. Oh, you're trading XRP. You're on a whole different... This is NQ. Well, MNQ because it's micros, but NQ. Push it. Push it. Let's go. Trading crypto. 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 What time frame gaps are you looking at? Well, right now I'm looking at the 1 minute gaps because I know we have a bunch of gaps to get through. 15 minute has a gap too, right? 15 minute has a pretty big gap. You see that gap on the 15 minute. So I'm taking profits at that. Oh, sorry. I'm taking profits at that like 50% mark on the 15 minute gap. 50% mark on the 15 minute gap. But we do have these 1 minute gaps to get through too. We got through one of the gaps. We have this gap to get through to kind of... Let's go! I gotta yell at it, sorry. Sometimes it listens when I yell. 50x lever, that's crazy. Be careful, please be careful. Hold on, adjust. Maybe if I move my screen up a little bit, price could I could kind of bounce it up. Push it. Push it. Push it. Maybe if everyone sings a song, it'll go up. Bro, let's go. It's 11 o'clock. This is price action. 11 o'clock price action. No, it's not looking good. Nope, my friends, this is not looking good. 11 is choppy, yeah. I knew this could happen. If this starts closing below, I'm gonna get out. I got my finger on the trigger. Dreaded H. Yeah, these are my evaluation accounts. Fine. I'm not risking a lot. Holy crap. All right, I'm out. I'm out. It's not looking good. It's all right. Took a small loss. I said there's all these gaps to get through is going to be very hard. That's why I don't like taking longs into a bunch of gaps. Right? I like a straight shot. Like the last trade I took, I like that straight shot. Look at that. We inverse this gap. We got to look at the straight shot we got. Look at the straight shot we got all the way to this gap. And we don't really have much holding it. We have this tiny little gap here, but pretty much after that, it's a straight shot up. Versus this one, look at the levels. We got one gap here. We got a gap here. We got a gap here. We got a gap here. We got resistance here. We got a major level here. We got so much holding it down that should have never took the trade. It's all right. This is my evaluation accounts. I was risk down too. I was risk down, so when I get a good trade, I'll make back the loss. It'll recover. Yeah, one good trade is gonna. Because I normally risk 500 bucks on those accounts. This trade, because it was a lower probability, I didn't even risk 300 bucks. Oh, 300. I risked 300, so the next good trade will make back that loss plus 200 bucks. Ah! Watch it go back up, you son of a... It's moving just like XRP. Well, it's the market. Maybe they move similar. Ah, oh, you freaking A. Son of a gun. Bruh. Alright, should I get in again? Maybe part 2? This is where my entry was. Hold on. See if we could get a pullback to this level. This is where my entry was. If we could kind of retest it, and I can get back in where my entry was. No! Don't go without me! Yeah, freaking... Don't leave without me. FOMO. I know it's FOMO. These are evaluation accounts, but so it is what it is. I still kind of like it. We got this. And there's that gap too. Are you going long? Yeah. If I can get filled. If this can wait for me. I'm willing to take the risk. It is what it is. It's alright. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Honestly, I probably shouldn't take this trade. I don't. Uh-oh, I'm in. No, not yet. There it is. Now, if we close back below, I'm done. I'm not taking this trade anymore. I need this to hold. That's the thing. The risk is pretty small. That's why I'm kind of taking it. Risk is small because, right, my entry's here. If it closes back below, I'm out. So. Oh, my TP. My TP would have to be... Don't. Think it's stupid trade? Possibly is a stupid trade. If it didn't work out one time. You son of a... It's making higher highs though, right? It's making higher high, higher high. This needs to hold as a higher high. If this can't hold, I'm out. You son of a gun. Is this seriously gonna stop me out at the same spot? Son of a... Bruh. What are you doing? Freaking sellers. Just watching what prices. Gotta start pushing here. Gotta start pushing here. Let's go. Rip it. Rip it. Accumulation? Possibly. Very possible. Let's freaking go! Holy. This is why I don't like trading after 11 o'clock. This freaking crap happens. It's just sideways. Like, what is this freaking stupid chop zone? 11 o'clock chop. Yeah, this is why I don't like trading after 11. This is complete bull. It just goes sideways. It doesn't have the momentum it needs to keep going. This gap, I mean, this gap is still holding. If it could break that gap and break these highs, we're going for. I think we're gonna go for that. This is kind of a bull flag, I don't, or bear flag. I don't freaking know. Bull flag on a freaking 1 minute, but then bear flag on a. It's kind of a bull flag, right? We got to push up, and it's kind of consolidating to go higher, but who knows? It's freaking 11 o'clock price action. Chop fest. Ugh. It's making higher highs though. That's the one good thing. It's making higher highs. Red light, green light. Red light, green light. Burger for lunch? Actually, I do want a burger. Maybe I should get a burger. No, thank you. Now you want me, now I want a burger. Probably won't be able to afford a burger after this trade. Let's go! What are you doing? Holy crap, it's not looking good. Take your $20 TP. Oh. It's not looking good for bulls. It's freaking chop fest. If this fails to go higher, I'm getting out. If this if it continues to push lower, I'm getting out again. I'm gonna stop. We're right at that major level. Literally right at that major level. Like, is it gonna keep going up or is it gonna freaking keep down, pumping down? Alright, I'm out. Freaking stupid trade. This is what revenge trading does for you. I'm out. It doesn't look good. This is why I don't like trading at 11. Now I took a bigger loss than I needed to. Now I took a full-size loss because I took 2 trades. 2 small losses equal a big loss. I'm curious to see what it does. I knew this was bad because we had so much gaps here, right? We had all these gaps. We have a resistance. Should have never took the trade. It's too much holding price down for it to continue pushing up. Yeah, that second trade was a revenge trade. That second trade was. It's fine. It's one full loss. I can make it back, but it is what it is. These are my these are my evaluation accounts. These aren't my funded accounts. This would be a really bad loss on my funded. But these are my evaluation, which I risk normally 500 per trade, like good trade. So I took 2 losses, 2 half-size losses equal one normal size loss. So if I get a good trade and I can make the money back in one trade, but I should have never took the second trade. But I'm up. I took that lower probability on the evaluation, but like something like that, like, right? Just because it was an evaluation, I decided to take it. But something like that, I would never take in an actual funded account. So I'm up on my funded, which is fine. Which is good. Have to play the range. Yeah, I mean it's that 11 o'clock, so it's gonna chop around. It's like it doesn't have the strength to, you know, to move like it does in the early morning. All right, I'm gonna give it 5 minutes and I'm gonna hop off for the day. It's all right. I learned. What did I learn? Not to long into a bunch of gaps. Longing into a bunch of gaps and resistance is not the smartest thing. But look at my stop. Hey, what did I do good on this trade, right? My stop out was good. I just never should have took the second trade, right? I got stopped out right here. Initially for a very small loss because I knew if this inverts this gap, I mean, it could potentially go for these lows. I would rather, you know, get stopped out right here when it invalidates it than wait for it to get stopped out all the way at the bottom. So you're essentially saving, right? 10, 20, 30, about 40 points you saved in money by taking an early stop out. If this does go to the bottom and stop out. Wait to see what the macro has to offer. Yeah, I mean, I'm still up on my, how much am I up? I'm up 1,200 on one of my accounts. And I'm only up 400 on the other ones. Dang, that sucks. I'm curious to see what this does. Should I have waited to see what the... I'm just curious to see if I should have maybe... Nah. I think it's going to go for the lows. At this point, structure is forming like it wants to go for those lows again. It's not looking good for bulls. Bruh. These spam callers are so freaking annoying. Holy. How do they sleep at night knowing that they just annoy people for a living? Holy crap, dude. They're so annoying. Nah. Uh-oh, somebody... Oh. The market makers are calling me. Yeah, I do. I block it. I do block and report, but they have the freaking... They have a system where they're always using a different number. You know, I actually wanted to get into wholesaling real estate. I wanted to get into wholesaling real estate. I started to learn about it, kind of got into it, and then realized I have to annoy people to get deals, and I was like, nah. Nope. I am not going to annoy people for a freaking living. Just, you know, having to call people and annoy people, and you know those people? Hey, are you selling it? Would you be interested in selling your house? That, I'm not being that person. I did and made 60K. It's a good, you can make a lot of money, but I don't like the fact that you have to cold call people and you have to annoy people. Like, I just don't like that. So I was like, this, it just was not going to be for me. I wasn't going to like it. It is hard, yeah. But you can make good money in it. I know people who make really good money in it. Some people love that grind, but I already do other things, so it would be hard. Cold calling is the worst, yeah. Yeah, because you're kind of like, you're that person that has to annoy people. Most people, especially if you catch someone on a bad day, right? I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten aggravated, especially if you're in the middle of something. Like, I work on cars, right? For example, right? I work on cars. I buy and sell cars for a living. So if I'm fixing a car and something's not working out, and I'm like in the middle, or if I'm under a car and I'm like in a tight space and I answer the phone, and like, you know, it just kind of, sometimes you could get aggravated. But I typically don't answer. I just hang up. But I respect the grind. Hey, at the same time, I know people are trying to make money. It is what it is. People trying to make money. If you have a good mechanism for leads, then you're in there. Yeah, I mean, what's his name had the program? You know who Ryan Pineda is? He had, I kind of joined his thing. And I was doing it, and then I just didn't like it. I had to bail. I didn't like the fact of... He actually has a good program, because you can get in for free, and he gives you a cut of, like, right? All you have to do essentially is find him buyers. If you can find him deals, you submit deals into his system, and if he accepts those deals and the money he makes on those deals, he splits profit with you. So essentially, you kind of like the cool thing about it is there's no money out of your pocket. For you, it's kind of like a risk-free type of thing. I mean, you do have to spend a little bit of money, but I just don't like the cold calling thing. I really hate that. Yeah, it is a good move. It is on his part, it's a good move. It's a way for him to be able to get potentially thousands of people that cold call for him. So he's not even doing the cold calling anymore. All he has to do is open up his computer and look at the leads, and he already knows that, you know, if he does call those leads, the people are already interested. So he's doing all the people are doing the hard work for him. And he's just sitting back and just freaking printing money. So price, man, it's not looking good. If it starts breaking, I really do think it's gonna break those lows again. Yeah, appreciate the likes. El Brutal coming in. Thank you. El Brutal. El Brutal. Ah. Is the price gonna run up again? I'm not entering this trade. Screw that. I appreciate it. Don't miss it. Yeah, I'm like, screw that. I'm not entering this trade anymore. I think one stop out, one full-size stop out is enough. But good. The smart thing is I went in half size because I knew this could happen. That's it. I'm going to wait for good setups. I know I always say that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dumperooski. Holy. It's holding this as resistance now. If it could break that low, it is not looking good. Kind of makes me happy because that means I saved money. That would hurt me if it went all the way to my TP without stopping. Actually, for me, it doesn't matter since I took 2 losses. It's one full-size stop out. So I could have just had a full stop out. So maybe the rule is, maybe what I should do, right? If I take a trade, say like a half-size risk trade, if I take it and it doesn't work, maybe I should just not take it anymore instead of trying to jump back in if it kind of... There's the dump. See, good thing I saw that beforehand, that, right? It's not looking good if we start closing back below this gap. Not looking good. Holy dump. Hopefully people put their stops in because this is not looking good. There is somebody right now, I can guarantee you there is somebody right now that is like, pretend this line is their stop loss, right? This is what they're doing. Oh crap. Let me move it down. Let me move it down. Now, I'm gonna move my stop down just a little bit. There's somebody out there just keeps moving his stop down. I'm laughing because that used to be me. So now it's retesting these highs. It could right? It could now pop up, retest this as resistance, and then continue going down. It's terrible right now. Yeah, this is why you have to have stops. I mean, it's right. If it takes out that low, I mean, who knows? Price could either take out this low and continue ripping up, or it could kind of push up into this resistance if it can't get through it and continue going down. Predicting a continuation to the downside. Yeah, I could see. As of right now, I think there's more continuation to the downside than the upside because we're below that major level. I don't know where it was, but I think we're gonna go for that level, right? And I liked this level more. This level was a bit like higher probability level for me, right? On the 15 minute, because if you look on the 15 minute. Oh no, it was that level. Wow. Never mind. That's the level I wanted. That didn't work out. But yeah, we have room down. Just got to be careful because there's a gap. There's a gap here, so. But we filled the gap. We failed to continue going higher. Now we go lower. So we can go to that like kind of like line down there. Next level of liquidity. So tapped into it, rejecting. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm probably gonna start to hop off. I've been on for 2 hours already, so took one good trade and then 2 stupid trades on small size. So I'm up on my funded and then lost some money on my evaluation. Hopefully it goes down. I got a short, then Wi-Fi went out. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Bro, I know that panic. That's one of my biggest fears, is if I'm gonna trade and then freaking Wi-Fi goes out. And I'm just like, no! Because then you have to, and I'm a scalper too, so I have to quickly log into my phone and I'll exit my trades if Wi-Fi goes out. If I'm green today, I pass my funded. That's awesome. Yeah, congratulations. If you pass your funded, that'd be awesome. It's got to stay patient and stick to your plan. Make sure to stick to your plan. You don't want to revenge trade or hold trades longer than you should just to pass it, right? But it's got room. I mean, it's... And then if you pass your funded, you want to make sure to size accordingly for your funded, to make sure your size matters, to allow yourself for some drawdown. Like, you don't want to blow your funded account, you know, with 3 bad trades. You want to give yourself like some room to breathe, to be able to go through drawdown, to be able to, you know, you want to keep your account as long as you can and get payouts. All right, we're dumping. So we pushed up. We're retesting that old support. Remember, old support turned into new resistance. Now it's continuing to go down. I'm on eval phase. Yeah, eval phase. It's a pretty hard phase to get through, especially if you're actually doing like you're sized correctly. Other people try to pass it in one trade, which I don't know. I think it's good to just trade your strategy and pass it, and then continue in your funded doing the same thing. Maybe size down though. Going down is going to be a big payday for me. It's got room. It's pretty weak. It's definitely got room to the downside. That my next level of like liquidity is down here. It's down at that like 23,030 level is that next level of liquidity for me. It seems like it's going toward that level. Oh, you shorted at the pivot point? It's not a... I mean, I can see why you shorted there, right? It broke down this support level and then kind of retested it to go lower, but, you know. Just make sure you don't get too greedy. You don't trust shorts to that level? No, it's not that I don't trust shorts to that level. It's just not my strategy. if I was to trade this strategy, then I would get more accounts, right? My goal is to have, I want to have different accounts for different types of, like, you know, I don't want to just have one type of strategy for all like 14 accounts. I want to be able to split my accounts into different strategies. Like, right, if I wanted to trade this kind of like break of support, retest it to go short strategy, then I would buy more accounts and just trade this strategy on those accounts. And then when I trade kind of a sweep of liquidity, I could switch to the other accounts to not put all my eggs in one basket type of deal. Like, I was thinking about, I probably will do that eventually. I'll probably get more after I pass these evaluations. If I end up getting more evaluations, I'll probably get more and then just like have a strategy, this strategy right here. Kind of like a break and retest kind of thing. Just for a quick scalp. But yeah. Well, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes and then I'm going to hop off. I said that like 10 minutes ago. I got to go eat and then I got to get to working. I got to hurry up and work because I'm in Florida and we get these thunderstorms in the afternoon and it really screws up my work. Hopefully I get a payout today. Yeah, I hope you get a payout. That'd be awesome. Just don't move your stop loss. Do not move your stop loss. The worst thing is when you... Worst thing is when you're so close. If you're going to be so close to a payout or so close to passing an account and... Right? And then you move your stop loss and it ends up blowing your account when you almost passed it. That's worse than just getting stopped out. Listen, there's always tomorrow. If you get stopped out today for a small loss, there's always tomorrow. You can always come back tomorrow, but you don't want to blow your account because that's going to set you back even longer. Pass my email overnight trade. I've never taken overnight trades. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool though. Yeah. All right. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm almost been for 2.5 hours already. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow at 9:30. Hopefully we can get another good setup and be patient, but hopefully y'all hit your TP. Hopefully I'll hit your TP and yeah, stay smart. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.